Greetings everyone, and welcome to my Sonic Universe issue 48 review. The chaotic search for Mighty and Ray has brought them to the Great Desert, where the jerks known as the Sandblasters have them cornered. And thanks to the previous issue, we know that Mighty is among them. Now, why would he get involved with the likes of them? Anyway, the Chaotix are surrounded by these buttheads, and Vector does not want any trouble. Too bad, because these guys are trouble. Now it seems the Chaotix have it under control, right? Nope. And Vector says it best. That was embarrassing. And don't pour salt onto the wounds of defeat, Charmy. And you're not helping SBO with that whole we shouldn't be all night partying. It's like, excuses. Jackrabbit explains how things work around Sandblast. Fresh meat either helps the Sandblasters in some fashion, or they end up 6 feet under. Those that join, they can find that things can be great, just like their newest recruits, Flex and Jitters. Mighty and Ray. And oh, Vector. Anyone can see that Flex is up to something, but you almost blew it for him. Thankfully, Flex turned the situation to his advantage, explaining to Jack that yes, this is his old team and he left them to try something new. And Flex has definitely earned Jack's trust because he requests a little alone time in order to get the new recruits in line, and Jack agrees. Finally alone, Mighty explains to his teammates what's been going on recently. After he and Ray hacked into the egg net from back in Mercia, and they still didn't change the password from password to... lame. As I was saying, Mighty and Ray traveled to the Sandblast area so they can find out where Mighty's sister is once and for all. Now, they know the Sandblasters are a big bunch of jerks, but they can't just go up to Eggman's fortress. So they decide to do the lesser of two evils. They decide to essentially go undercover and join the Sandblasters. That way they can, well, essentially get the lay of the land and gather vital intel. And the reason the Warp Ring was sent back to Angel Island? To prevent the Sandblasters from discovering it. I mean, if you think about it, really, it does make sense. If the Sand Buttheads have gotten their hands on such a piece of valuable technology, I don't know what's worse. Having one of Eggman's forces having the Warp Ring, or these guys. Ooh. And, Vector, the team's back together. Nah, not if you read the recent issues of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sorry. Now, thanks to the Chaotix' timely arrival, Mighty decides to just go on ahead and head to the Baron's fortress to see if, well, his sister is there. Ray wants to come along, but Mighty asks him to stay with the Chaotix for his safety. That night, Mighty sneaks out after SBO gives the all clear. Now, here, you want to give Ray a hug because he believes that he'll be abandoned once Mighty finds his sister. The rest of the team comforts him, saying that if Mighty succeeds, Ray will also get a new sister. So, that's nice. Now, Mighty has heard that the Baron is a reasonable guy, so it's just a matter of walking up to the fortress and, well, having a nice little dialogue, right? Well, so much for that. Although, to be fair, Mighty did rough up other forces time and time again. And a nice little spin dash Mighty. And you forget that Mighty was actually one possible design choice for Sonic the Hedgehog, so it's a nice little nice little nod to that. Anyway, after a brief struggle, Mighty says to one of the enemy soldiers, "Capture me." Okay. So, Mighty has an audience with the Baron, and wait a minute. Wait, who's that shadow outside the door there? Could it be a certain freedom fighter that went AWOL back in Sonic 235? Well, back to the story. Mighty explains to the Baron who he really is and why he is here. And just like that, the Baron orders his men to bring Matilda. And here it comes. The moment Mighty and the fans have been waiting for. This is it. This is going to be so exciting. And what the heck? Matilda is obviously confused. And the Baron explains that Mighty is her brother. Alright, then we have Matilda recounting how she has no family. She grew up in an orphanage, and she was roboticized and relocated to Sandblast, and she remembers joining the Baron, and she's pretty content with her life as it is. Mighty tries to explain why he hasn't been around, but all Matilda could say is, quote, "You mean nothing to me." Oh, oh, ouch, right in the heart. Ooh. Now, you just want to hug Mighty. I mean, you gotta give the guy a big hug. And again, this is why I like the Baron, because he sympathizes with Mighty's situation. Yeah. Now, he orders his men in the room to forget what they have seen, and for all they know, they captured a Sandblaster. To maintain the appearance, the Baron had Mighty locked up, and he plans to trade him back to the Sandblasters in the morning. Poor Mighty. Aww. So the next morning, Jack demands to know where Flex is. SBO says that he went to take on the Baron, and if captured, the 3 new arrivals would be equal trade. Now, regardless of what Jack thinks of the new arrivals, he prepares for a prison exchange until he is inspired by Flex's actions. And when they meet, Jack will finally take out the Baron once and for all. Oh, jeez. Can I have permission to crack Jack's skull in, please? This is an emotional issue, and not the good kind. The Mighty looking for his sister plot has reached its climax, and we've all been waiting for this moment since we first heard about it back in Sonic 212, and when we first saw an armadillo similar to Mighty in issue 217. For Matilda, not caring who Mighty is, it makes sense from her point of view. Remember that her parents were criminals and Mighty was exiled. She grew up in an orphanage, turned into a robot, and then later legionized. All she knew was being alone and being one of Eggman's mooks. So, was Mighty and Ray's journey all for nothing? Well, there's still one issue left in this arc. Yeah, Mighty and Ray. They got new looks, huh? My opinion, I like it. Makes them look tougher and cooler. Now, I know they changed their look to infiltrate the Sandblasters, but will they keep it after this arc? And yeah, the Sandblasters are still jerks. The Baron is still a good man in a bad situation. Not that different from issue 217 and 218. Now, the shadow at the door. Now, assuming it's Bunny, I understand that she would go to her uncle, but the question is, why? Hopefully we'll find out soon, but I can wait. I mean, we waited this long for the so-called conclusion of the Mighty Matilda story. Yeah. Now, if it is someone else at that door, way to troll us, Ian. Way to troll us. And now, if things don't go exactly Mighty's way, I mean, he still has Ray and the Chaotix to fall back on. Although, well, if they find out what happens to 2 characters they left behind, Julie Sue and Saffron, oh boy. So where does this story go from here? Well, the only way to find out is to wait for the next issue. In the meantime, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.